Today's video is going to be huge. It's a breakthrough that I've had over the years, and it's something I'm really excited to share with you, and that is how to 10x the amount of sex that you have in your marriage. And most guys don't understand this, which is why they end up shooting themselves in the foot, having very difficult time trying to engage their wife in sexual activity. It causes so much pain and suffering within the relationship, and it can cause breakups and misery. So if you want to avoid all the bad stuff and get 10x the good stuff, then just stick around. It's a short video. I'm going to make it very impactful. Let's hop on in. Welcome back to Whole Goals. My name is Andrew Love. I am the founder, and this channel is all about helping men, husbands, fathers to reclaim their mind, heart, body, and soul so that they can eliminate the stress and overwhelm that crushes us, so that you can have more happiness, more harmony, and more power so that you can make impact in the lives of your family and your community and society at large. If you stick around until the very end of this video, I'm going to give a bonus tip that is absolutely going to blow your mind. Today's video is all about sex. That's right. Again, there's already a few videos on the topic in this channel, but there's gonna be many, many more. It's not because I'm a perv or I'm a weirdo or I get off on making videos about sex. It's because if you get this area of your life right, if you use sex to empower you to become a better man, a better father, a better husband, then you will be unstoppable in life. You'll be able to, do amazing things in your career, to make impact in the world, and if not, sex will use you. You'll be a liability in this society like so many politicians, actors, celebrities. These people don't understand how to funnel their energy in a productive way, so it destroys them. So one thing that I really want you to understand first and foremost is that you're on a sexual continuum when you're in a relationship. So the sex that you have today impacts the sex that you have years from now. And because so many men don't understand this, they don't check in with their wives. They don't check in to make sure that they are taking care of their wives, that their wives are satisfied, that they're being sensitive to the needs of their wives. And because of that, the sex that they have early on in marriage creates division and separation and loneliness further down the line. Because I know so many men who are in their 60s whose wives don't even want to have any sex with them because of how they were early on in their relationship. So if you want to avoid all that and not only have good sex throughout your marriage, but have better and better and better sex as you get older, which is definitely possible. I know plenty of people who are living in that category of human, the superstars. These are people in their 60s and 70s who are having banging sex. If you want to do that, then please listen to me. So before I get into some really amazing, powerful tips on what you can do to 10x your sex within your marriage, I want to give you one massive tip of how to avoid years and years and years of pain. It's a simple concept, but it's hard to execute, and that is never have sex unless your mind, your heart, and your spirit is involved. And that sounds weird, but hear me out. This is very practical advice. Many people are just led by their horniness, by their randiness. They just want sex, so they seek after it. And they don't consult with their hearts, let alone the hearts of their spouse, and that creates distance. You see, when you have sex, when your heart is not in it, and when their heart is not in it, or their mind's not in it, they're thinking about something else, or their soul's not in it, they're not willing to serve each other, then that creates distance. And you're creating this situation where the more sex you have, the further apart you feel from your spouse. So never, under any circumstance, allow yourself to have heartless, meaningless sex just to satisfy your body. Just like it's a bad idea to just eat empty calories because they're not giving your body anything. You're actually making yourself sicker. In this case, you're making the relationship sicker by having body sex without the mind, heart, and spirit. You want all of your sex to bring you closer and closer and closer because it's gonna make the sex better, and the partner, especially the woman, is gonna wanna have more and more of it because she's gonna be more attracted to you because you're the provider of this love. So now I'm gonna get into the 3 tips that allow you to have 10 times more sex in your relationship. And remember, this is a continuum. If you do all this, don't expect to have way more sex tomorrow or 10 times more sex in one day on your daily average. What I'm talking about is 10 times more sex within this sexual continuum of your relationship. There's a compounding effect. So the first thing is eliminate porn, eliminate masturbation completely from your life. Now I feel like I've lost a few of you here. A lot of you think that's impossible. trust me, it's possible. If you want to see another video, and I'll put it somewhere here, it's how I've been porn free for 13 years. It's actually not that big of a deal. And here's why it's so important to not watch porn and to masturbate. It's because you become gross. It's like if you're going to eat dinner at somebody's house and they've prepared this scrumptious meal and you come in smelling like Kentucky Fried Chicken and you're full, then the person's like, well, what's the point of me making all this food if you've eaten on the way? And that's just a small, ridiculous example compared to how much it hurts somebody when you've completely gone out of your way to think about all these other people and not that one person. Sexuality, if you want it to be really powerful and meaningful, is something that you're continually adding on to. And every time it's like an investment and it accumulates over time. So the more that you invest in that person, the more that you give to them, the better it is for the both of you. Also, when you masturbate, when you watch porn, the effect is you're scattering your sexual energy all over the place, like Johnny Appleseed. If you channel your energy, you become a sexual Jedi. You become able to really be acutely aware of what that person wants and needs and how to give it to them. And it creates this amazing effect where you're able to be in touch and in tune with that person because you're giving them your full awareness. When you're thinking about porn and you're in a pornified state of mind, you're all cloudy. You're just kind of thinking about what feels good in the moment. You become like a child, whereas when you are eliminating all these things from your life, these distractions, become like a university professor. It's really, really powerful. Also, you purify your intentions. When you rip out porn and masturbation from your life and you're able to really understand that sexuality is all about different aspects of your life, like your emotional state, how much you're eating, what you're eating, how well you're in tune with your own physical body, your mental well-being, your spiritual well-being. When you understand that you're a part of this symbiotic whole, this entity known as yourself, then you can offer that all to one person and say, this is my gift to you. Whereas when you're in a pornified state, all you want is just like, can you do this? I saw this in a video. I want you to act like this person, and it's really insincere. And it's really not about that person at the end of the day. You just want them to make you feel the way you feel when you saw this video. So the second tip is to put your attention fully on that person's needs. So if you're going through a bit of a drought, even in your relationship, you're not having as much sex as you want, don't try to have sex with them at all. Just serve them without any expectations. Give to them freely without any conditions. Give them back massages. Touch them, just hold their hand, hug them, find their love language. Learn how to think about them and anticipate their needs. Like if you can understand what their favorite foods are, make that for them, you're creating a happy individual. A lot of times women don't want to have sex with you because they're emotionally empty or they're overwhelmed with life. They're just not into it because they're not filled up. So the first thing is to fill that person up, again, without expectations. Because if you give with expectations, you can feel it. Like when somebody calls you up and they're like, hey, how you doing? Oh yeah, by the way, do you want to join my network marketing group? It's such a gross feeling when somebody has a conditional reason to give something to you. So give to your wife freely and allow her to be filled up to the max and just watch what happens. I want to let you know that this happened in my life, and there's a prolonged period of like 2 years where my wife was really up and down and all over the place with postpartum depression and all this stuff. And in the beginning, I was really frustrated and everything that I was doing was very conditional because I felt empty myself. And I realized that the more I had conditions, the less she wanted to have anything to do with me in terms of sex, in terms of my touch, because my touch was always like, can I have something now? And it's just like this really desperate vibe that you give out. But the moment I started to realize that I'm just gonna give to her without expectations, I'm gonna fill myself up by praying and meditating and learning how to just be a happy person and give any extra happiness to her freely, no expectations. The rewards have been unimaginable, how much better and more frequent the sex was after. Not immediately, but after, because she never forgot how much I took care of her in her time of need. And the third tip is to leave the door open. You see, it's not bad to let somebody know where you're at. And this is what I'm talking about. Just let her know, listen, we haven't had sex in a while, or I would like to have more sex eventually when the time is right, but I understand where you're at. So I just want to let you know how I'm feeling, and I also want to be able to create an environment where you don't feel pressured into anything. So in the meantime, until you feel better, just know that I would love to when you feel right. But until that time, let's just focus on making you feel right so that you can be happy. I want you to be happy. That's why I married you, is to take care of you and to bring you joy, not to make you feel like you owe me something. You see how amazing and powerful that is? So if you leave the door open, you just say, here's where I'm at. No pressure, whenever you're ready. And that's really powerful because you're being honest about where you're at, but you're also not putting any pressure on them. The last thing you want is them to have sex out of pressure, because that again creates space over time. You also don't want to keep this all in because it can create this kind of weird suppressed energy. So to let them know about it and to keep the door open is super powerful. It's a power move. So that's it. There's 3 main points. It's quite simple in theory, but it's actually quite difficult to practice. But if you keep on practicing it, you will get it right and you will end up having 10 times more sex over the continuum of your relationship. Now, I promised you that I would give you a bonus at the end of the video, and here it is. This is really gonna blow your mind, okay? If you follow what I'm talking about over a prolonged period of time, however long it takes, if you stop questioning it and you just enjoy the process, you will have 10 times more sex than you are presently having. But here's the mind-blowing tip. The quality of your sex will be so mind-blowing that you won't be able to contain yourself. If you thought you knew what sex was before, you don't. Sex grows in impact over time the more that you get to know somebody. I once met a couple that told me that you don't know an individual until you've been married to them for at least 20 years. And that blew my mind. I'm now coming up on my 10-year anniversary, and I can see how true it is, because I thought I knew my wife when I first married her. I totally didn't. I thought I knew her after our first kid. I totally didn't. After our second kid, totally didn't. Third kid, still don't really understand her. It's a work in progress. But the thing is, when you do the deep work of caring about somebody, somehow the intimacy, the closeness and heart of sacrificing for each other, learning how to take care of each other, allows you to be more open mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and then physically too. And the sex is out of this world. So please invest in your sexual life together with your spouse over the long run, and never pressure them to do anything. Never try to do anything backhanded. Just give and give and give and watch what happens. You'll have more, and it'll be better than you could ever imagine. Just give it time, play the long game, and you will be a sexual Jedi. If you like this video, please feel free to subscribe. When you do that, it helps the channel grow. Also, if you press like, it helps this video get out to more people. More people need to know this message so that we can have a stable society and a healthy world. I appreciate you so much watching this video until the end. If you ever have any questions, just let me know. If you want a free PDF, it's an interactive PDF that can help you learn where in your life you need more balance, more harmony. Go down below. It's a free PDF. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.